My approach to teaching is to kind of share as many different approaches to art making as possible. There's no one way to be an artist. Alchemy, you do think of gold and precious materials, and I think my approach to it is trying to find the everyday material and seeing what I can do to it to either like transform that material, maybe make it unrecognizable, or just be seen in a different way and make it feel new. Paper-pulp is funny to think about in terms of alchemy, where I'm blending paper to make paper, but in doing so I'm transforming it to a new kind of state that allows me to do a lot more with it than I would be able to do in its initial state. So a lot of my time is going to stores and holding up materials and seeing the moiré pattern that materializes. Interested in perception, and we don't all perceive things the same, but we kind of forget that a lot of the time. In the moiré ones, what you see in one position is going to be different from another depending on your angle or the light, but also then whoever's standing next to you is going to be seeing something different as well. So I first thought that the theme of the show would just be the mesh and kind of all these different ways that I could use mesh, and that still is very much integrated into a lot of the series, but I realized that the grid was kind of overriding that. And just thinking about the grid both in its art historical context, it's something that has been addressed by artists as long as we can remember. Renaissance paintings and op artists have explored the grid in really interesting ways too, using color and pattern to explore how we observe and perceive. So it was interesting kind of to take all those things, the material, space, and pattern, and combine that into the theme of grid. The butterfly effect, they all ended up looking like butterflies by creating symmetrical images. So butterflies, of course, have symmetrical patterns. And then the butterfly effect itself is a reference to time travel, and kind of if you go back in time and change something, it's going to affect the future.